If you talk to anybody that's living in Bettendorf, most of them are going to be saying, I love it here. And there is many reasons for that. And we're going to cover about 7 of them today. The first reason that a lot of people really like moving and living in Bettendorf is because of the school systems. The thing about Bettendorf is there's actually 2 different school districts. You have Bettendorf, of course, but you also have Pleasant Valley as a school district. And if you look those 2 up online on niche.com, those are ranked number 1, Pleasant Valley, and number 2, Bettendorf. So people love living here because of the schools that are available to the Bettendorf residents, and everybody really wants to get into Bettendorf because of the schools as well. But the thing about the Bettendorf schools districts and the Pleasant Valley school districts, because it's all in the same town of Bettendorf, it's not really clear on where the line is between the Bettendorf school district and the Pleasant Valley school district. So if you're moving here and you're really not sure, but you know which school district you want to be in, give me a call, give me a text. My number is popping up down below because it is a little bit confusing on where that line actually is in Bettendorf, and you want to make sure that you're getting into the school district that you guys want to be in. Now, contrary to popular belief that Bettendorf is the most expensive place to live here in the Quad Cities, which is true in some senses, but it's not true when it comes to property taxes. Property taxes here in Bettendorf are actually one of the lowest, if not the lowest, in the Quad Cities. And yes, from a dollar amount, they can be a little bit on the higher side, but from a percentage of the value of your home, they're actually one of the lowest. People really like that aspect. Yes, it can be expensive to get into the city, but once you're here, you're not going to be paying a ton in property taxes. And the city does this intentionally. I got to participate in what they call the Citizens Academy, and they talked about this specifically. Bettendorf is developing all the time, and you'd think that would drive higher property taxes. And the truth of it is, it's not. You know, how they're accomplishing this is they're actually taking out debt in order to fuel all of the development that is going on in Bettendorf in order to maintain those lower property taxes so that citizens want to be here and enjoy all the development that is going on. So shout out to the city administration that is trying to keep this balance going so that Bettendorf can be the premier city that it wants to be. And speaking of developments, what is the city doing for developments? And this actually comes into another point of why people love Bettendorf. So there's quite a few different things going on. Number 1 is the downtown Bettendorf area. Now, downtown in Bettendorf used to really not have a lot going on. It was kind of run down, was a little more industrial, but things are really turning around for the downtown Bettendorf area. This was really spurred on by the development and construction of the I-74 bridge. When that started happening, Bettendorf really tried to push development in the downtown area. One, because the downtown area actually had to be reconfigured in order to take up what is going to be the footprint of I-74 bridge, and because of that, they really started pushing a lot of money towards the downtown area. So they have new restaurants like the Riverside Grill that moved into the old Essentra building. Speaking of Essentra Credit Union, they built their headquarters in downtown Bettendorf. The TPK Bank built some buildings down there. We have the big apartment complex that got built down there with restaurants underneath. Yoso, Verde, all of those restaurants, all of those developments are happening in downtown, and it's starting to really become a place that people want to go and actually be a part of. So that's just one of the areas that Bettendorf has really pushed, and in developing, people really love. But not only that, in central Bettendorf, which is kind of where I'm at right now, they are expanding on and building a new pool and ice skating rink. They had a pool, but it was getting a little bit on the older side, so they pushed through and they got some funding in order to build a new pool, and they added in the additional ice skating rink that will be a permanent ice skating rink because they had a temporary one every year and they wanted to get that in more a permanent installation. So that is actually going on as we speak, looking to open that, I believe, in summer of 2024. So just another example of Bettendorf investing back into itself in order to get the people to love where they live. And of course, the biggest development of them all is out by I-80, the TPK Bank Betplex, and surrounding area. You know, the Betplex was the first thing to get built out there, and everything is building up around it. You know, we have the new Iron T going in, we have new hotels, we have the Cambria that's already there. The Marriott just announced they're going to be building a huge hotel out there as well, and all the restaurants, bars, breweries popping up around it is just really awesome to see, and people are loving it out there. And that's where a lot of the new construction is being built as well, because all the push is to northern Bettendorf, and people absolutely love it. Something else that people really love about living in Bettendorf is the access to bike trails and access to a lot of lovely parks, like the middle park that I am in currently. I believe there's 26 different parks in Bettendorf, which is astounding considering we're only sitting at about 40,000 people living here. But all these parks that are around sounds like a lot. They're all very well maintained, and people absolutely love that as well. But not only that, we have an amazing dog park that people really rally behind. In fact, just recently we had what we call Dogtoberfest. I happen to be a part of the committee that puts that on, and it was an amazing turnout. We use it as a fundraiser to build up the dog park and add additional features, fix up the fences, maintenance, all of that, and it's really a community-driven park, and people absolutely love it. We ended up having a ton of people there. The first 150 people got free doggy bags. We ran out of those. I don't know the official numbers, but it was phenomenal to see the community get involved in that at the level that it did. And that just goes to show that people really do like the parks and really enjoy them. But if parks aren't the thing for you, people also really love the bike trail system that we have around here. It connects to the MRT, which is the Mississippi River Trail system, and it connects all of the Quad Cities together. That new I-74 bridge is a part of that. You can cross the Mississippi on your bicycle or walk if that's not what you want to do. But it's a great asset to get out and exercise and enjoy the lovely weather, especially right now where we're heading into the fall time. They're very much used and utilized in Bettendorf. Now, I mentioned before that it's a little bit difficult to get into Bettendorf, mainly because of the cost to get into Bettendorf is a little bit on the higher side. The property values in Bettendorf tend to be higher than most of the Quad Cities, but that's actually one of the reasons that people love living here. It's because their property values are going to hold and gain appreciation faster than a lot of the other cities here in the Quad Cities. So people, once they're here, absolutely love that their property values are going to grow, and their property is always going to be in high demand. Whenever I list a home in Bettendorf, it goes pretty dang quick. So people love that aspect of it. Yes, your home values are high when you're trying to get into Bettendorf, but they are going to be maintained and increased substantially compared to the rest of the Quad Cities. Now, Bettendorf only has about 40,000 people, like I'd stated before, but the thing that people love about it is that it feels like a great community, and it's amplified when we get into talking about community events. You know, we have the 4th of July fireworks right around here in Middle Park. We have a parade on the 4th of July. We have a Halloween parade. We have all sorts of different community events, and when people get together and see their neighbors, it's just a really cool thing to see. And it really feels to me when we have these community events like we are a tight-knit community. I grew up in a town about 1,500 people, and it feels like that, even though we're about 40,000 strong right here in the city of Bettendorf. So another big thing as to why people love living in Bettendorf. In Bettendorf, the traffic almost is a non-issue, and people absolutely love that aspect of it. It's easy to get around if you know your main thoroughfares. And speaking of those, the main thoroughfares, you have Devil's Glen Road, you have Middle Road, you have 18th Street, 53rd Street, and Crow Creek Drive is maybe another one. But when you know those main roads, you can pretty much get anywhere pretty quickly. Now, I will say, once you get into the neighborhoods, you have cul-de-sacs everywhere, so you kind of want to know where you're going when you get into the neighborhoods. But getting around the city of Bettendorf, it's fairly easy, so people love that aspect. You can get pretty much anywhere within 5-10 minutes at most. It's a really nice ease of traffic here in Bettendorf, and people absolutely love that aspect of it. Now, I have been in Bettendorf. I know the areas, I know the neighborhoods. That's why people give me a call. So if you're thinking about making that move here, give me a call, send me a text. I am the one that answers all those phone calls, texts, emails. But for now, if you want to know why maybe you shouldn't move to Bettendorf? Well, check out this video right here.